Another month, another 12 strategies for you to earn some very juicy high yields. Welcome back to Farms of the Month. We are in the month of August, so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. We've got 12 different strategies. We're going to cover some stablecoin strategies, some ETH strategies, even some including both Sol and Bitcoin, and we're not going to waste any time. So we're going to start with number one. We are starting off with one of the best farms probably for the last year almost. This is Timeswap, and on Timeswap I think the yields speak for themselves. You've got some triple digit yield opportunities, whether it's lending USDT or whether it's even kind of using ETH or lending METH. I think either way you have some very good opportunities right now where you can earn some very high double digit yields. Some of them, in fact most of them, involve yields coming from the Time token itself, which isn't actually live yet, but remember these are actual yields you're earning, not points. So this hopefully will come in the not so distant future. However, some of the farms here do actually have some kind of other tokens like the ARB token. You've got the Dinero governance token and a variety of others if you scroll down. But I think whether you're looking for ETH yields, whether you're looking for LST yields or even stablecoin yields, you'll find something on here that is appealing to you, especially with how high these yields are. So this is Timeswap. It's a small market at the moment, but I think it's an opportunity, a golden opportunity at the moment when it comes to how good these yields are at the moment. Number two, we're going to talk about Reserve Protocol. Reserve has always been one of my favorites, and that's because of the art tokens that anyone can permissionlessly build on Reserve. And one of the reasons why this is so interesting is because the yields for these stable or ETH kind of pools are very high. You can see this on screen right now. Again, at times you can farm even over 100% APY. Just like Timeswap, with Reserve we have triple digit yields. You can farm this on Yearn, Aerodrome, Convex Curve, Beefy, the usual when it comes to farming. So yeah, lots of opportunities available there, and these yields have consistently been over 20%. I've rarely seen our token yields be below this, and so I think again this is just a great opportunity. Of course, like Timeswap, these markets are fairly small, but you do have the occasional one that has a fairly higher TVL. Generally, I mean, these are less than 5 million, and that's why the yields are so high. So they might not last for the entirety of the month, but I think certainly for some parts of the month, they will be. And I think you can certainly outfarm the slippage and fees that you pay with using some of these chains, just because of how good these yields are. So yeah, Reserve with the R tokens is definitely a good option there as well. Number three, we're going to talk about a different type of product. This is Jupiter's Perps market, and we're actually going to talk about JLP. Now, JLP is the liquidity pool token. Essentially, it's the counterparty to the traders, and essentially it's an index. It's a basket of the following tokens. So you've got Sol, ETH, Bitcoin, USDC, and USDT. The stablecoin component is around just over a third, and then you've got Solana, which is pretty much the largest weight at around 44%, and then ETH and Bitcoin making up the rest. Why is this an interesting opportunity? Well, you kind of have a mixture of kind of assets with Sol, ETH, and Bitcoin with some stables to kind of balance things out. However, you earn the trading fees, so 75% of the fees generated on Jupiter's trading market, or their perps market I should say, go back to JLP holders. And because of the insane volume that Solana traders currently have, this is an absolute money printer, and has been for probably since inception really. Yeah, I think Jupiter has done really well because of its market share that it has at the moment, and I don't think that this is going to stop anytime soon. Similarly, you could say the same for Hyperliquid, who have the HLP vol, which again currently earns over 30% APY. You can see the P&L over time really highlights just how good the opportunity is, and this is essentially the counterparty to traders on Hyperliquid too. And so yeah, this is another option where yields have been really good, and the extra bonus here is on Hyperliquid. You do get points, which probably will lead to some sort of Hyperliquid native governance token in the not so distant future. In the fifth space today, we have Contango, which is essentially a protocol that allows you to create leverage positions via money markets. And so you can see they currently have a variety of different options, some of them on Compound, which is one of the big money markets, used to be bigger than what it is today, but certainly still very big, and Morpho. And you can see that because of some of the incentives that are currently available, for example, on Compound, on Arbitrum, there's some ARB token rewards and some comp token rewards. Combine them together plus the actual yield that you get for lending RETH, and you get pretty much high double-digit yields here. And these are fairly well-known assets in the form of RETH, which is from Rocket Pool, and Compound, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with as well. You can also look at Morpho, and this is on something like Base, where you can earn, again, double-digit yields. Again, this is really because of the optimism incentives that are currently available right now. So again, some really good yields. Dolomite is also another option here. Again, just like this pool over here, you are making a slight loss, but the ARB and OARB tokens that are from Dolomite right now can contribute to some of the really good yields. And you can scroll down and maybe you'll find another few farms here that might be interesting, especially perhaps some of the Pendle-like tokens, like the PT tokens. Yeah, these frequently change, so go and have a look on Contango. Remember as well, when you're farming on Contango, you're also going to be earning Contango points, and we're speculating that that's going to mean a Contango token in the not so distant future. With the sixth farm that we're going to talk about today, we are covering Curve, and specifically we're going to be looking at Bitcoin tokens. Now, Wrapped Bitcoin has been a lot, in the news a lot recently. So we're not talking about Wrapped Bitcoin. We're actually talking about TBTC and EBTC. EBTC is something that I've talked about on the channel before. So if you want to learn about it, go and watch that video. It's really interesting. But essentially, this is a Bitcoin stable farm, and the reason why it's pretty good is at the moment you have some Curve incentives, which can add up to 15%, and some Badger tokens as well, adding up to 6%. If you've got max rewards at the moment, which you can farm on Convex or Yearn, essentially, you're talking 20% plus yields on your Bitcoin there. And this is a farm that shouldn't have much impermanent loss whatsoever, as it's kind of two assets that are paired with one another, as in the two Bitcoin assets, essentially, same as farming with the stable. And so, yeah, pretty interesting. If you do have some Bitcoin that you wanted to earn some yield on, this might be an interesting strategy for you. Yes, the TVL is low. It's only $1.5 million. So for you whales who are watching, this one might not be for you. But if you're a small fish like me, then it's something interesting. D2 Finance is an interesting protocol because it's going to be on Bearer Chain, of course. But what's interesting right now is that they do have lots of these actively managed strategies that the team, Luca and Frank, have basically put together. And so right now you can see that they've got this D2 USDC strategy. You can actually read all about all of their different strategies that they have. They have quite a few different strategies, and they use things like pups and options for these different strategies. This one's full at the moment, but if you do get a chance to get in, yeah, some pretty good annualized APRs, and you can see the same with the ETH++ strategy. Very good returns that they've been able to achieve there. And it looks like they will have a bearer strategy too. That one looks very interesting to me. So that's D2. I'll have more on them in due time as well. Next, we're going to talk about LandX. Let's see if we can get this to load. For some reason, this isn't loading. Next up, we've got LandX, and LandX have a credit protocol. Next up, we've got LandX, and as part of LandX's product suite, they have a credit gateway. And essentially, this is a place where you as a user can loan out your USDC to farmers who want to borrow. Those farmers provide collateral to LandX in the form of tractors or farmland or whatever. This is, of course, vetted by LandX, but you as a user can lend out some USDC to them. And because of the nature of the collateral, you can ultimately earn some very juicy APYs. Here you can see see USDC, you can lend out and earn 30% on it. So yeah, you can learn a lot more by clicking on the details and reading the contracts and all of the other kind of elements that come with it. But yeah, definitely an interesting opportunity here, especially with the high double-digit yield on USDC. You don't always find this everywhere, do you? Moving on, we're going to talk about Yearn. Yearn have always been a good place to farm, and that's because they basically also compound all of your rewards together. And right now you can see that there's a bunch of different offerings here. Some of them via Pendle, some of them via other protocols, but you can see these PT tokens, which is something that I've always been interested in. Perhaps there might be some good strategies here, and these are auto-rolling, so once the Pendle pools expire, these will move over into the next one for you automatically. If you do want to look at Pendle itself, the USDC 0, I believe is from Usual Money. This is an interesting one, earn 17% fixed APY, which is pretty good on a stablecoin. The reason why is because a lot of people are speculating on the airdrop, which users can earn pills from at the moment. Yeah, I guess in due time there probably will be some more ones. One of the interesting ones is via one of the new Kelp DAO products. I believe it's called AG ETH. And yeah, that one's going to be pretty interesting. I don't think it's not live just yet, but perhaps by the time you're watching this video in a few days time, it might actually be live. So that's one that I will be looking at as well. Moving on, we're going to talk about Curve again. However, this time we're going to talk about Fraxtal. Now, this is unusual because I haven't talked about Frax in a long time, but this caught my attention because I just was skimming through, just looking for some good yield opportunities, and I found this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Frax basically released a bond product, right, where they have lots of bonds expiring 2024, 2025, 2026, and what's interesting is that there are now some curve pools for all of these, and these bond products offer some absolutely insane yields right now, which you can see on screen. These are bond products expiring in the future, and you can see that you've got 30-40%. This one can even go up to 100% with a max boost, which is absolutely insane to be able to earn this on bond products. You'll find that there's lots of different pools here. Some of them are incentivized with CRV, some of them incentivized by CRV and FXS, and some of them also with Fraxtal, which are points that are given for liquidity provision. As far as I'm aware, you actually earn these Fraxtal points for any kind of activity done on the Fraxtal chain. Fraxtal is a layer 2 built with the OP stack, just for those who are unaware. But yeah, if you do want to kind of explore a little bit on some of these newer chains, maybe Fraxtal is something interesting for you. I think either way, the yields are pretty attractive in their current form. Next, we're going to talk about Sega, and Sega is really one of my favorite protocols when it comes to options. They have some very good strategies. For those of you who want to learn about Sega, again, I have done deep dives on them, so go and check them out, and I go through every single one of their product offerings. Now, the one product that is interesting to me at the moment is called the Gold Rush, and essentially what happens in this strategy is that there are some exotic options with the underlying assets being ETH and tokenized gold. This is done by Tether, the company, and so these are options that are sold to institutions. You can obviously deposit and sell these options, and so at the moment, if you use the leverage feature, you can earn over almost 100%, 85.11% there. Again, this is on Arbitrum. Doesn't have the biggest TVL at the moment, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting strategy. And that's because you've got some downside protection. Essentially, this strategy is great if you're fairly bullish on tokenized gold and ETH, and you don't think that their price will decrease by greater than 30% in the next month. If you think that there's a chance that these assets can go down by 30%, then perhaps it's not really the best strategy for you. But of course, there are different risks here compared to some of the other strategies. In this strategy, you're not lending whatsoever, but of course, in some of the other strategies, you might be. So yeah, just another one. This is Sega. Again, they don't have a token, so maybe using this protocol might give you some benefits in the not so distant future. Who knows? Last but not least, we're going to talk about Protocol FX, another one that is consistently been one of the best places to farm. And one of the reasons, again, why is because of the stablecoins that FX have produced. They all currently offer really high double-digit yields. Some of the different stable coins can actually earn you points as well. So you've got these ones like RUSD, which you can earn EtherFi, Eigenlayer, Renzo points as well. There's also the Convex USD pool, which is just one of the newer assets as well. Or you can kind of find some of these curve pools as well. Some of them have some high double-digit yields. Either way, this might be something interesting to you. All in all, we've got quite a few different farms here. Let me know in the comment section below, or let me know in the comment section below. You can send me a DM as well if you want. If you have any questions regarding any of these strategies, yes, there are quite a few. And I'll show you some more next month. So yeah, stay tuned.